Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is episode 41 on the Matt and John Make podcast here on YouTube. And I say YouTube because our first topic we want to get into, that news broke, I think, this past week, that one of the biggest podcasters there are out there is
arguably the biggest podcast out there.
yes, arguably is moving exclusively eventually by the end of the year to Spotify. And the person we're talking about is Joe Rogan. His podcast is moving to Spotify beginning of September. At that point, I believe it's September 1st, and at that point, it's still going to be on YouTube and Spotify. But sometime by the end of the year, it's going to be exclusively on Spotify. I believe audio and video, still for free, so you don't have to pay for Spotify.
which is which is pretty groundbreaking too, Matt, because as you know, Spotify doesn't have any sort of video, so they're just doing this exclusively for Joe Rogan. So
Yes, which could be a game changer down the road. And I believe you could correct me if I'm wrong. This was worth around 100 million.
I was watching Brendan Schaub's podcast, and they were saying like that what the numbers that they're actually higher. so
Huh.
so yeah, he was basically saying from the from the from the numbers that were out there, they're not exactly right, but still, regardless,
That's
this
a lot of money.
yeah, it's a power move. Per se, like I was stunned, to say the least, because I never really felt that what Joe would actually do this, but he got a boatload of cash.
Yeah.
Which, and like, he controls pretty much everything. Nothing really changes with this thing, which is really encouraging.
It's pretty much just Spotify. It's a good move on both sides because for Rogan, you get all the money.
Yeah.
You retain your rights and creative of your own show, and Spotify knows that Rogan gets a lot of eyes on his podcast, a lot of listens, and then if you can listen for free, and if you don't have Spotify yet, like both of us don't, and I don't because mainly because I don't want another subscription. Even you can use it for free, but I think there's like ads and
Other good
stuff.
things, though. Yeah, so basically, if you don't subscribe with Spotify's premium package, you will still be able to see Rogan's full podcast. It's going to have ads in it. So unless you really get annoyed with ads, like I really don't think that it's all that big of a deal to me.
I'm used to YouTube, and I'm used to watching stuff on Hulu, and even with NBC's new streaming service, Peacock, which, if side note, if you are an Xfinity X1 customer, which we are, Comcast, if you have the TV,
I am, yes, yeah,
and
yeah.
I think you can get it for free for at least now early. I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be free for everybody who has it going forward, but I know it's coming out in July for like $4.99 or whatever. But anyways,
Yeah.
so like that, watching that has ads in it, so that's okay for free. Like, I'm not that like I wouldn't be that upset with ads. I know people just want the content and move on, but like, I mean, all our lives we had ads. When we had just TV, there's commercials.
Hell, like I watch all of Von Rogan's podcast through YouTube. So and there's ads everywhere with that thing. So it's
Yeah.
like it's not really changing all too
And
much.
that's a sacrifice to make to not pay for anything, and I'm okay.
No.
And then most of the ads, anyways, if uh, you the commercial breaks, if you will, they're about like maybe minimum like 15 seconds to 30, at maximum maybe
Mm-hmm.
I don't know 90 seconds. So like less than
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes, I think.
Right.
All the time we sit there watching and
Mm-hmm.
people binge watch shows all day. I think
Mm-hmm.
2 minutes per minute and a half, maybe a couple times a thing, maybe 5 minutes of can 5 minutes of commercials is okay.
Yeah.
So if that means I can listen to it for free, um, that's fine
Yeah.
by me.
Yeah.
And
It's kind of where I'm at too, because as you said, man, like we're already subscribed to enough stuff as is. Because I know for me, I obviously have on Disney Plus, ESPN, and the Hulu bundle,
yeah,
WWE Network.
yep.
I'm
I've got
I'm like a
Amazon Prime.
Netflix. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I use Netflix through my mom. She has it, so
yeah.
she
Mm-hmm.
paid for it because she
Mm-hmm.
watches, I guess, some stuff. So I just have an account through her. I have the Disney Plus bundle,
Yeah.
Prime, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else? I mean, where's my oh, that's back there. Other various other stuff, maybe just not streaming. So yeah. And I'm still archaic in the sense for music that if I like a
Mm-hmm.
song, I'll go on my phone to the Google Play Store and I will buy it individually like a boomer.
Yeah,
Because
I'm pretty cheap when it comes to that.
yeah, I mean,
There.
there's a lot of songs I have bought. Like I don't $1.29. I'm okay with it, but and anybody listening, like just pay blah 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 for a month and you can get everything you want. But like
Mhm.
I'm weird with his music. I like so many different things that I don't tie down the one. I don't know. It's hard to think. But I got Sirius XM too in the car, so I can
Yeah,
listen to that too.
yeah. I finally unsubscribed to that. It was just like I was paying so much money for that.
So
Uh,
I have that in the car, and that's pretty much all I listen to in the car. And
yeah.
with that, I can get obviously music. I have the favorite in my car. If I want to change it up, I got like the comedy channel. If I want to just enjoy a good laugh, if I'm going somewhere, if I don't want to listen to music, I got that,
Right.
um, and other stuff. So it
Mm-hmm.
it it works, and that's what 25 bucks
Yep. I
ish.
mean, yeah.
So I don't need Spotify, but I might cave in temptation and maybe, but I think I'll live with it.
Yeah,
But I don't know.
for me, I would really need actual incentive to actually do that.
Right, I might,
And
but I'm trying not to.
and correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. Before this happened, Spotify wasn't really deep into podcasting, were they?
Um,
Like it was just strictly on music, right?
I think for the most part, I let me look this up because
Mm-hmm.
as somebody who doesn't use
Mm-hmm.
it, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I think they might have,
but
um, but there was more like
oh wait,
the Google
mm,
like a store like Google Music, like Amazon, Apple, music stuff. Let me look this up.
oh wait, and by the way, did you see did
SoundCloud and
yeah, yeah.
all that stuff.
By the way, did you did you see Spotify's um did you see Spotify's stock price once they announced
No, I did not see that.
Rogan? Yeah, like supposedly it jumped from, I think it was $160 a share to $189 a share when they announced that. So,
I think
and
they might. You know what? They might have.
mm,
No, what they do have. Yeah, I feel stupid. They do have, I think, podcasts before.
okay, okay, but yeah, like as far as a stock price goes, I I was watching a video about this, and they were talking about 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 Spotify putting down a lot of cash to bring them in, and supposedly like just like based on the stock price and everything, that they were basically only paying Rogan a like an equivalent of like $5 million, just like based on their
I
stock exchange, which I can't really explain. So, but that was kind of what they were explaining is like, you know, as far as just like how huge of a freaking pisses move that this was
I think I could be wrong, and I'm as we're talking right now, I'm researching more and looking
mm-hmm,
that I think maybe Spotify was just a platform
mm-hmm.
for people to like upload podcasts. I'm not sure if Spotify is paid for.
So so basically, Rogan is essentially the first guy then.
Or if not that, or at least right now, Spotify exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of
Well,
people put their shows on
mm-hmm.
like any
Right, right, right.
different places, so
Yeah,
everybody has
they'll
access to him. So, but
they'll just
now
yeah,
he's gonna be, it's just him.
it's just
Um,
him. which which I mean like they're I mean like just for Spotify it's a huge move because just think of just how many downloads and just consistent traffic that they're going to get, because I mean like there's probably maybe two or three bigger podcasts in the world, and honestly that's probably even a stretch, just like I mean and for YouTube, you gotta wonder um how mad or how like or how pissed or that they are, just because because I believe with him he was like one or two most or basically number one or two on podcast on the platform there.
yeah,
So to lose that, it's got to be really devastating for them.
yeah, and I think it says here, this is on the Verge.com article here, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably have it linked. That I think Spotify bought two companies, podcasting companies, um,
Yeah, I did hear
to
about that too.
oh no, and then bought other shows. I guess
Mm-hmm.
The Ringer and Bill Simmons's
Yep. Mm-hmm.
flagship
Yeah.
show. So
Yeah.
okay, I am wrong. He's not the first
Difference
one,
is here though.
but
Yeah.
it's more
Ooh,
exclusive.
licensing. Yeah, like basically Spotify is licensing Rogan's podcast, which is just basically taking all of his library and obviously for like future episodes are going to be strictly there. So I do wonder if they're going to be able to actually live stream stuff again, because if you recall, basically Rogan stopped that. I think it was like not too much longer after the Alex Jones episode, where he just basically just start them where he just started taping them with his podcast rather than going live. So I'm hoping with his fight companions, which by the way are tremendous. Those guys are freaking crazy, as you know, Matt. Eddie Bravo.
Yes.
He's a very interesting man, you could say, right?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. It's entertaining. Yeah. I'm trying to read this and listen at the same time, so I don't know if he's the first to be exclusive of Spotify. But the big
I want to
thing,
say yes. Yeah.
because I don't know if it is because if they bought other shows, and wouldn't they still
Mhm.
be exclusive to Spotify? Well, regardless, the thing is that since Rogan that show is so big,
Yeah.
you get you get people to come in and reading here.
Mhm.
You get the data from there, and then you can sell. Let's say I don't know what the typical view. I don't know. It's 500, whatever, 500,000. I don't know if that's right, but you get
Mhm.
all that money, then Spotify can get more bigger ads, and then
Yep.
they make money. He makes
Mhm.
money, and right
Yeah.
now
It's
it's just a
I mean
big thing.
it's going to be a giant success for Spotify, and more importantly, I mean, like this opens the door for content creators pretty much ever, because now Joe has completely just reset that whole entire market there. So
Yep.
so pretty much anyone who is anywhere is going to be looking for a bigger payday. So whether they're exclusively on say like YouTube or Spotify or on like Stitcher or like iTunes or whatever, like they're going this is going to lead to more things happening. So I mean, like it's going to be very interesting to see. But man, my first reaction of when I heard this was like, man, he must be getting paid a lot of money to just air it just exclusively on Spotify because man, as you know, he was on like iTunes, YouTube. I must say he was probably on Stitcher, but I don't believe that he was uploading his stuff to Spotify. I I forget why he said why he wasn't doing that, but like but now I mean obviously he's getting a giant payday here, but I mean like it's going to be very interested, and we'll see how this plays out. Again, he's going to start to put his past episodes over onto Spotify on September 1st, and then by the end of of the year, he didn't say specifically when, but he's going to be start to do new episodes exclusively on that brand there. So a very exciting time when it comes to that there.